Hello, welcome to Levant TV headlines. An attack by Islamic State fighters on the Syrian town of Kobani and a nearby village has so far killed at least 146 civilians, the second biggest massacre by the hardline group in the country. The United Nations office in Syria says an Islamic State attack on the northeastern Syrian city of Hasaka is reported to have displaced 60,000 people, warning that up to 200,000 may eventually try to flee. 8 people have been killed and dozens wounded in a suicide attack that targeted a Shiite Muslim mosque packed with some 2,000 worshippers during Friday prayers in Kuwait City. Gunmen have shot dead a Houthi rebel commander in the Yemeni capital Sana'a as the insurgents came under attack elsewhere in the country. And at least 27 people have been killed in an attack on a tourist hotel in the Tunisian town of Sousse, with witnesses saying an exchange for gunfire was reported at the scene. Now let's have a look at the top headlines in today's newspapers in the Middle East. Starting with the Egypt Independent, which is reporting that a proposal by the 2012 presidential candidate and dissident Muslim Brotherhood leader Abdel Munaim Abu Luwail Futuh to run early presidential elections has backfired, with pro-government analysts and politicians deeming it unacceptable. The paper also reports that the Nasser City Family Court has issued a verdict saying that the twins of actress Zaina were proven to be the children of actor Ahmed Aiz, compelling him to recognize his parenthood of the twins. From Beirut, the Daily Star leads reporting that the Lebanese army has killed 2 militants on the outskirts of the northeastern border town of Arsal, including the son of a Free Syrian army commander. The paper also reports that the US State Department report on global human rights says torture and abuse were widely practiced by Lebanese security forces in 2014. From the United Arab Emirates, the Khalij Times leads reporting that at least 58 people have been killed in 2 attacks by Daesh militants on the Syrian town of Kobani and a Kurdish village near the Turkish border. The paper also reports that a 21-year-old young Emirati who experienced a complete heart failure due to unknown reasons has received an artificial heart in the first ever such organ transplant carried out in the UAE. Now let's have a look at the papers here in London. The Guardian leads reporting that at least 7 people have died after an attack on the Imperial Marhaba Hotel in the Tunisian beach resort of Sousse. A security source at the scene said the body of one gunman armed with a Kalashnikov assault rifle lay where police had shot him dead, but it was unclear whether there were other assailants. The Daily Telegraph leads its Middle East news section reporting that Islamic State's attack on the Syrian town of Kobani has amounted to one of the group's largest massacres in the country's 4-year-long civil war, according to Syrian Observatory for Human Rights. The group's director Rami Abdurrahman said it was the biggest single massacre of civilians by Islamic State since the killing of hundreds of members of the Sunni Muslim tribe Shaitat tribe in eastern Syria last year. The Independent leads reporting that Riyad al-Maliki, foreign minister of the Palestinian Authority, submitted the files in person at the Hague court to feed into an investigation by the International Criminal Court prosecutor Fatwa bin Souda into possible crimes on Palestinian territory. The preliminary probe aims to establish if there is enough evidence to merit opening a full-scale investigation that could ultimately lead charges against both Israelis and Palestinians. Now let's have a look at international papers. From China, the Global Times reports that the Israeli authorities released a senior Hamas figure, Sheikh Hassan Youssef, a year after his detention amid an Israeli military operation in the West Bank. Youssef, one of the founding members of Hamas in the West Bank, is known as part of the organization's more moderate faction and is considered as a spiritual leader as well by its followers. And the Washington Post reports that a bomb exploded at a Kuwait mosque packed with Shiite worshippers. There was no immediate assertion of responsibility, but it followed 2 attacks last month on mainly Shiite mosques in Saudi Arabia that killed about 24 people. That was it. For more updates, please visit Levant.tv. Thanks for watching. Be sure to join us again on Monday, and bye for now.